CZ from Binance says buy the dip. Is he just trying to lure new funds into his troubled exchange, or does he know that things are about to change? And XRP holders out there are seeing a lot of pressure to the downside. It's because of two big events. Let's explore the news, everyone. We had an amazing live stream happen last night where I answered your questions with the most frank answers possible. Yes, everyone, it was great. And thank you to the new members that joined the channel as well. The support last night was amazing. And if you want to watch that live stream, you could always go into the live stream folder and watch it for yourself. A lot of good answers and questions there. But right now it's the heat map. The heat map is red, and it's going to be red for a while, and it's because of what the Fed said. Bitcoin right now sitting at 16,704. ETH 1180. Both of these pull downs, right, from the 1,200 and 17,000 mark have to do with two massive events that are pulling down the rest of crypto. Now, that being said, Binance and CZ says, hey, now's the time to buy. But should you trust him? And here's my fear with this, all right? My fear is that the reason why CZ and Binance wants you to buy, it has to do with low volumes. That's how they make their money. They make their money by trading, fees in trading. So, of course, he wants you to buy now so that you spend more money on fees thinking that the bottom is here. But here's the problem, everyone. The bottom's not even close, and we have to go to economic projections from the Fed to give us two big news events that are going to tell us that cash flow is going to be heavily restricted, and we probably shouldn't listen to CZ because he just wants more money to help out his Ponzi scheme that he's got going on. Change in real GDP. So the Fed is telling us that we are going to be in super slow growth. 2% is what our target is for GDP, and you can see 2023, 2024, and 2025, those 3 years we're going to be under that 2.0, so we're going to be growing, but very slow. Crypto is a growth sector, which means you need lots of cash to make it grow, and the Fed is telling us that's not going to happen. The other thing that the Fed told us is inflation, and inflation is important. Why? Because it all has to do with the amount of capital flowing into the markets and how expensive that capital is. So for XRP holders out there wondering why there's so much pressure, well, the first has to do with what the Fed said. The second we're going to get into super shortly, but I wanted to show you this with the Fed. The Fed is telling us that inflation is going to be high in 2023 and 2024, which means the Fed is going to keep jacking up rates, making money more scarce and more expensive. In fact, Jerome Powell and the Fed said this. They said, hey, look, 2023, we're not going to lower rates at all, which means we're going to be going up in rates all of 23 or staying flat, which means money is going to be super expensive. See, the reason crypto popped, all right, a couple years ago during the Rona when all this happened right here in 2020 and 2021 was because of all the fiat out there. Fed base rates were near zero, which means money was essentially free. So people that were willing to take risk, venture capitalists and so forth, they were able to get money at a lower rate than what you can now. Now the Fed's looking at raising it 550 basis points. That's in less than like a year and a half time period. That means money is way more expensive. Now here's the problem, everyone. The problem has to do with the other issue that came up, and that's what this article is right here. XRP declines by 7% as updates on Ripple versus SEC stall. First of all, no one should have perpetuated the rumor that was a settlement. That was extremely damaging and put Brad Garlinghouse and the whole Ripple Lab teams in a bad spot because they couldn't publicly deny that a settlement was happening because that would tank the price even more. That would remove a lot of hope that was falsely put in the market. The other problem is what Jerome Powell and the Fed said. But the big issue right now is this Mazars group thing. Yep. So what happened was Binance had Mazars doing an audit of their reserves and of their business function. Mazars is like, I'm done. We're done with all of crypto, period. We're not touching crypto at all. The reason they're saying that is they can't certify it. They honestly can't certify the Binance reserves because of how messy the books are. Now, as big of a company as you want to explore, you should be able to find out their books. I can go into the SEC's websites, find 10Qs, and I could break down line by line the books of these companies, the holdings, and so forth. What these auditing firms are saying, their books are so messed, so cooked, we're not putting our name on it. We're not risking our reputation on stuff we cannot validate. So Binance all of a sudden starts sinking, right? BNB was really close to 300 not too long ago. Now they're at 237. So now Binance, along with the Fed telling us that we're going to have pain for the next couple years, is what's pulling the entire market down. If you look at the price of XRP, right, and if we zoom in here, I've got all these arrows. This is when all the Fed's announcements and all that stuff happened. But what we have to think about right now is that you're going to have continuous pressure to the downside until several factors happen. Number one, cash has to become cheaper, and that's not going to happen until the Fed starts flattening rates and then lowering rates. You guys, we have time. The other one is XRP's got the case looming over their head, and I just don't see why SEC wants to settle. They just won against LBRY. So the SEC is going to want to win. They're going to want to put their foot on the throat of Ripple Labs and XRP holders. The SEC wants to keep taking on the case. Why? Because if the SEC wins and XRP is deemed a security, that then gives the SEC carte blanche, Kate Blanchett, to go over the entire crypto market as it falls under the securities umbrella. The other problem we have is these companies out here that are trying to do verifications of reserves. They're bailing out. This company, Mazars, is like, yo, we're not getting into this at all. That's why you're seeing CZ and Binance saying, hey, you have to exploit the fear. You have to buy now. He wants that because he needs more cash flow. He needs more transactions. I can show you the financials of any publicly traded crypto firm out there and show you that transactions are down. Profitability is down. Less people are buying, selling, and trading crypto, which means they're not making the transactions that they used to in the past. And it's super damning when you have a company like Mazar say, hey, we're not only going to not certify what Binance has on its books, we're totally getting out of crypto altogether because it's a mess. So XRP holders, if we don't get regs, if we don't get more favorable conditions with the Fed, and if we don't get these liars out there like CZ, Binance, Justin Sun, and all those losers being real with us in the crypto community, you're going to have more pressure to the downside for quite some time. So here's the big takeaways from this, why the market's red and why I believe it's going to be red for some time. Number one, you're not going to see institutional money get involved with crypto until you see regulations come into place that start protecting their money. It's something similar to like FDIC insurance that, hey, if you're getting into crypto, you'd be insured just in case something would happen. That would allow a lot more institutional money to get in. Venture capitalists are not going to get in right now because there's other opportunities for them to explore where the books aren't cooked. That's why Mazar's bailing out a crypto certification is a huge thing. They're not doing it with anyone. Qcoin, Binance, all of them out there, they're like, look, we're done with crypto. The other issue, too, that's looming over us, and this is a global issue because banks around the world take cues from the Fed. The Fed said, hey, 2023 is going to be pain, 2024 is going to be pain, 2025 we might start seeing some relief. Now, does that mean you should time the bottom of the Fed's movements? Probably not because, hey, let's not time markets because you'll always miss out. But the Fed's telling us his money is going to be expensive for years to come. And without regulations in the United States, without these bad actors like Justin Sun, CZ, Do Kwon, Mashinsky, Sam Bankman-Fried, without all those bad actors flushed out of crypto with all their speculative crap, you're going to have more and more pain, more distrust entering the crypto market. The other thing is honestly the lawsuit. The lawsuit is lingering over XRP right now, and it's lingering over the entire crypto market. If the Fed wins the case, they're going to go after the rest of crypto, no questions asked. So that's why we're really concerned. That's why the heat map's going red, and that's why volume is so down right now. There's so many things right now that have like a negative connotation that we're waiting for more clarity on. We got some clarity from the Fed on their expectations, but we need more clarity when it comes to the case. And honestly, the more that we watch this, we have to get rid of the settlement ideas and see that the SEC just won their case via summary judgment with LBRY. So if they just won a big case, why would they settle with one that they've been fighting, draining Ripple Labs out of money on? Let's just be realistic with our expectations and keep our cues on macros and global events. As more news breaks, I'll be sure to share it with you. We give you information here, not hopium. So the Fudsters, probably not the channel for you. Thank you very much for watching. As more news breaks, I'll be sure to share it with you. Check out this cool Crypto Web3 video right here where you can learn even more about what's happening with the market. Until news breaks, I'm going to take some time off. I'll catch you cool cats later.